Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It's now 3 o'clock, and we're ready to begin the very last of 10 sessions. We are now going to cover the very last topic, which is on designing a school-wide character education plan that lasts. Very good. So we are interested now in making sure that we put in place in the system um, for the long view a character education plan that is not just going to be for 1 year or for as long as the posters are up or the tarpaulin is in shape. What we are interested in is to make sure that the school really is able to put in system in place in its structure, in its long-term plan, a character formation program that is meant to outlive those who will put it in place. So, our objective, as you have been hearing again and again these past days of this 10 series or 10 sessions, 10 seminars, our objective is not just to see students passing a subject, passing a test, or even passing a year. What we are interested in is to see our students go on to become good men and women to the end of their life because of what we're going to do in these 10 months that they are in our classroom. So by the end of this session, I hope that you will have a clear understanding of the key components, the main components of a sustainable character education plan. We put it in place. And then we will also look into where we are right now. Kamusta ba ang eskwelahan natin ngayon? Is it already a school of character? Are we, given whatever we may be doing now, or we may have been doing the past 3, 4, 5 years, 20 years that we've been inside the classroom, are we really able to um, form character? Let's assess where our school is right now. And then we will not be able to do it here in this session, but you will have an assignment to design a 3 to 5 year roadmap tailored to your school context. Let's put it this way. There is no clear-cut formula that we will implement in one school and can also be implemented in another school and in another, in the province, in the metro, in the private school, in the public school. Each school will have its own context, needs, types of students, kinds of teachers. And so we will have to take into account all those things in designing a 3 to 5 year plan. And then, of course, by the end of this session, I hope you will commit yourself to a strategic, systemic, and spiritual anchors for long-term impact. So what I want you to consider now is this: 100 years from now, given the kind of school you have, the mission, vision, will your school still stand 100 years from now? Because if your school is, you highlight in your mission, vision, what you highlight is students being lifelong learners, okay? Because that's very common, right? Maraming eskwelahan, ganyan ang makikita mo sa kanilang mission vision. We create like lifelong learners. We make the students love learning to the point that even after they leave our school, they will continue to want to grow, to learn, to continue updating themselves. 10 years ago, walang AI, walang chat GPT. 15 years ago, maybe walang Wikipedia. 20 years ago, walang social media, YouTube, TikTok, uh, Twitter, Instagram, wala yon. Therefore, if 20 years ago, what you set for yourself, for your school is gusto ninyo ang eskwelahan ninyo ay updated to technology, well, you will have to now adapt to the new technologies that are coming out. Pero 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, schools that said they want their students to have character, they want their students to be Christ-centered, they want their students to be hardworking. Very good. Then those values, virtues, core values continue to be relevant even today and even 100 years from now. Here's a beautiful Chinese proverb. If you want 1 year of prosperity, grow grain. Magpalaki ka ng palay. If you want 10 years of prosperity, grow trees. But if you want 100 years of prosperity, grow people, form people, prepare people to be change makers, catalysts, who will drown out evil in an abundance of good. Whatever kind of evil that may come our way 10 years from now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now. So, ang gusto kong isipin natin is, ano nga ba ang legacy na gusto ng ating eskwelahan na maipasa sa mga kabataan, na maibigay sa mga kabataan? What kind of legacy? Is it just a legacy of if you go to SM Mega Mall, across SM Mega Mall, there is a Chinese school there. And ang nakasulat doon, we produce honor students. Yan. Cum laude, magna cum laude, valedictorians, salutatorians. Okay, yun yung kanilang motto or yung kanilang battle cry or yung kanilang ambition. Yun ang iniisip nilang legacy nila. Ang iiwan nila sa kanilang mga estudyante ay academic excellence. Okay, very nice. Let us just hope that together with their academic excellence will also be their character. Kasi ang dami na nating nakikita sa lipunan ngayon, matalino, pero ginagamit ang kanilang katalinuhan to step on other people, to take advantage of other people, to uh, become rich from the coffers of taxpayers' money. I mean, that's what we are seeing now. Matalino, pero ginagamit ang kanilang talento para sa pagnakaw, pagpapayaman sa sarili. And so we are now seeing problems in society that are rooted there. They may have talent and skills, but they lack character. We have a problem. At this point, you ask yourself, ano nga ba ang pinaka-objective ng eskwelahan namin? Have we been really focused on preparing young people to become good citizens, good men and women who will contribute to making the world a better place? It's a cliche, but it's the reality of education. We have to be concerned about preparing people to fix the problems in society, who will make the world a better place. And that is what we are after in this session today. We will look into ano ang kailangan. What are the pillars that we need to look at so that we have a long-term Strong, dependable, effective character plan. Here are the five pillars of enduring school-wide character formation. And as we go over each one of them, it is very good to ask ourselves, do we have that in our school? Or is it something that the board needs to go back to the drawing board to determine we have to put this in place? Kaya pala may problema ang ating eskwelahan sa character. Ang mga estudyante natin, many of them become uh, cheaters, dishonest. They're not upright. And together with it comes failure. Kaya pala we have been focusing too much on trophies, recognitions, PRISA championships. Yan. But I know some schools that pagpasok mo ng kanilang campus, parang that's what matters. Those are the tarpaulins that you see. It's all about awards, recognitions. You're not going to read about God-fearing, Christ-centered, man of faith, man of prayer, a man for others. Iba, ang makikita mo is all about competition, winning tournaments, winning this and winning that. Now, there is nothing wrong with that if side by side with it, we also put in raising young people to become good men and women, not just academically, not just in sports, but as human beings. So here are the five. Number one, we look at the vision, your school's mission vision. You look at it. Does it talk about human dignity, ethics, doing good, doing right? That you expect your students, you envision graduates who will do good and be good. Some will even specify, especially in these 5 C's, ayan, competence, character, community, serve. They are going to even identify concretely what they want to be able to achieve with their students. That's their vision. Or is the vision all about success, academic success? So, our mission vision should contain that one, that we are dealing with human beings who are not merely material things. They are men and women with body and soul, with soul also to take care of, and therefore is not just meant for passing a year, passing a course, but really becoming the best human beings they can possibly be, uh, considering their dignity as a son of God, a daughter of God, a child of God. That is one of the pillars. Tingnan natin yung ating mission, vision, and core values. Do they contain this respect for the dignity of the person? And then virtues, ethics, doing good, being good. Number two, and many times this is the at the root of bakit ganito ang eskwelahan na to. It's like a rat race. Parang everything is competition. Parang everything is all about the grades, the honors, the being able to make it to the winner's circle, ganyan, no? Kaya pala, because the leader talks only about that. The leader does not um, enunciates, does not enunciate and make clear to everyone, to the community, the higher aspiration of being the best human beings students can possibly be. In fact, in some schools, because of the leader, some teachers resign, because they see absence of modeling, absence of conviction from the school heads. The opposite is also true. There are schools that are exemplary precisely because of the leader. Never mind about the facilities. Never mind if there is no basketball court, covered court. Never mind if there is no swimming pool. But the leadership, the officers, know very clearly what they are after, know very clearly their values, and they go for it. And the teachers are happy, the students are happy, the parents are happy because of the leadership, not because of the facilities, of the how many computers there are, or here's number three pillar. If you want long-term effective character formation program in place, culture matters. The ways of doing things in the school, the rituals, traditions, language, behavior norms, what is expected of the students. That's why in a school of character, in a school where character is given importance, mahalaga ang orientation. Mahalaga ang induction training program for the new teachers. Mahalaga ang orientation for the parents because the leaders will tell the parents, the new students, the new teachers, this is how we do things here. This is how we value respect, courtesy, kindness, hard work, honesty, uprightness, integrity. Lahat yon makikita sa the ways of doing things. Bakit natin inuumpisahan ng school year in this school with a Mass of the Holy Spirit? Mass, Holy Mass to start the school year. That's part of rituals, traditions, because the school believes that the 1 year that the students are going to spend there in that school, kailangan humingi ng tulong sa Panginoon, sa Diyos. Naniniwala sila na it's going to be a tough ride. We need more than just health. We need grace. We need divine intervention. Alam namin na maraming problemang pagdadaanan itong school year na to. Seen, unforeseen, and unexpected. And so, we start the school year imploring the help of God to bless all the students, to bless all the teachers. That's part of culture. And then, hindi pwedeng one shot, one time, big time prayer. We need that kind of imploring the help of God throughout the year. That is part of culture. That is part of rituals, traditions, language, behavior norms. Here, we are expected to respect and show courtesy to teachers. That's part of culture. The way the students are expected to deal with the teachers and deal with each other. All these are part of anong klaseng kultura meron ang eskwelahan. The way of doing things. That is a very important ingredient or element of having a successful school-wide character formation plan. Here's number 4, curriculum. Even the curriculum, you look into it, magsasabi sa'yo kung seryoso ang eskwelahan sa character formation. Ay, may GMRC, hindi nila tinanggal. Ay, may values education at hindi lang once a week at hindi lang optional. It's 3 times a week at it is required. Ganon ka-importante para sa eskwelahan ang values, ang character ed. Ay, the class advisors are asked to give every day pep talk on doing good and being good. That is the part of the curriculum and the hidden curriculum. Ay, the teachers are expected to integrate into their lesson plan or unit plan values, virtues, uh, to incorporate the virtue of the month in whatever subject they're teaching. Doon mo makikita na seryoso ang eskwelahan sa character formation, integration of character goals in all subjects. And then number 5, community. How is the community? Is there effort on the part of the school to develop friendship, camaraderie, community among the students? Or is it all about bullying? Ang dami mong maririnig na reports about bullying, bad cases of students being mistreated. Is there effort to make teachers and students a family, a community of um, learners and teachers who are united by a common goal? And then the effort to reach out to the parents. I've seen schools where teachers see the parents as people in the other side of the fence. Parents who see the teachers as almost like enemies, kalaban. When they talk about the parents, they talk about them in a negative way. Reklamador, nakikialam, or the opposite, walang pakialam. They don't show up for the PTA. They don't show up for the distribution of cards. It's always the lola who comes. You've never met the parents. They, yeah, may ganong klaseng parents din, di ba? Ang mindset nila is, i-enroll ko ang anak ko dito sa eskwelahan na ito. Para bang ide-deposito nila ang anak nila, telling the school, o kayo nang bahala sa anak ko ha, kayo na magdisiplina ha, binabayaran namin kayo. And then, like as if it's the teacher's job to teach the kids everything related to character. No, the parents, in fact, are the primary educators of their children. They are the first character formator of the children. Bago pa pumasok ang bata sa eskwelahan, dapat natutunan na nila sa nanay, sa tatay, ang po at opo, being kind, being respectful, being courteous, greeting good morning, good afternoon, saying thank you, using please. Those things the parents should have taught already at home. And so the school's effort to reach out to the parents so that the school can tell the parents, let's work together. We are not in the opposite sides of the fence here. We are partners in raising your son, your daughter to be a good person of character. That is the fifth pillar. Okay? So these are the 5: vision, leadership, culture, curriculum, community. Sabi ni Peter Drucker, culture eats strategy for breakfast. And character, culture devours both. Greshel said, you build culture by what you celebrate, what you tolerate, and what you reward. That's why I was saying earlier, pasok ka ng any school, um, just by looking at what they celebrate, by what they highlight, by what they print in the tarpaulins, in the posters around campus, those things will tell you kung anong klaseng kultura meron ang eskwelahan. Is it all about the grades? Is it all about university entrance exam results? Because I've seen schools like that. Para bang they are so obsessed with 92% passing rate in Ateneo, LaSalle, UP, UST, whatever top schools they have. And that's what you see the school highlighting, like as if that's what they exist for. Here, we prepare our students to make it to the big four. Parang ganun yung kanilang, um, that's what they celebrate, that's what they highlight, that's what they are there for. Is it all about PRISA, Palaro, UAAP, NCAA, sports, championships, trophies? Is that what you see when you visit the school? That's what they highlight? Or worse. Sometimes what you will see when you enter a campus, yung announcement about how much more they need to raise in the fundraising campaign. Um, is it all about that? Is it about um, you congratulate the sections that have been able to reach their quota? That's what is being highlighted. So that will tell you a lot about the culture, the values of the school. Let us do a bit of self-check, school-wide self-assessment. Sabi ko kanina, it's good to look into. This is now that second objective. Okay, I'm going to flash on screen some how do you call this, like KRAs, key result areas, and you're going to rate yourself. You can use a ball pen, pencil, or you can use your cell phone. Give your school a grade. One being the lowest, meaning to say, hindi kita, hindi ginagawa, wala. We don't have that in school. Five being, it's strongly evident. We have it in school. We are practicing this. It has been there for a long time. It is a part of our culture, a part of our way of doing things. And then two to four will be in between. Okay. And here are the questions. The pillar regarding vision. We have a clearly articulated vision of character education rooted in virtue, human dignity, and it is seen in our school's mission. Is it one, very poor, or five, very good, or somewhere in between? Number two, leadership. The school leaders model and prioritize character education in word, in action, and policy. 1 to 5. Culture. There is a visible, consistent school culture promoting respect, responsibility, and moral development. Curriculum. Character education is integrated into classroom teaching across all subjects and levels. In fact, in our unit plan, may naka-insert talaga doon, what is the value that will be highlighted? What is the virtue that will be given prominence? Or how is this related to the core values of the school? And finally, community. Parents and external partners, the community, are actively involved in and aligned with our character education goals. We make parents part of it. We make them come to attend parenting talks. We give them newsletter reminding them that this is the virtue for the month. And these are 10 suggestions you can do at home to make your son, your daughter practice the virtue of the month. That's 5. Or we don't have it. Or maybe we have it, pero we only ask them to come to get the grades, to get the cards at the end of every quarter. And to make them come, we check attendance. Okay, so a very good way to think about it. Where do we stand therefore as far as present situation now is concerned? Which pillar among those five is strongest in our school? And how come it's working well? That's a good thing to reflect on, to think about. And then we strengthen it even more. But it's also good to know which of these five needs the most improvement. What steps can we take in the next 3 to 6 months? You see, this is already part of what can we do so that we are able to put in place a school-wide strong character formation plan. And then third question to reflect on, how can we ensure our efforts in character education are sustained over the long term? To the point that even if there is going to be a change of leadership, it will go on because we already enshrined it in the vision. We enshrined it in the core values. We enshrined it in the faculty handbook, the student's manual, the student's um, handbook. And we make sure that part of the induction program, the orientation program, these things are tackled. Sabi ng Chinese proverb, you know, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. But the second best time is now, giving us the message of, okay, if these things have not been put in place, it's okay, no problem. But now is a good time to put these things in place. So that's where we are, the long view map, having a framework, strategic framework that we can put in place so that our school really becomes a school of character. First phase, I mean, the first thing we need to do is to um, introduce a 3 to 5 year plan template. You see, in the primed, which is what we have been covering this past 10 sessions, P, prioritization, R, relationship, I, intrinsic motivation, M, modeling, E, empowerment, and then the final one, D, is developmental pedagogy. And this session today is all about that precisely. Developmental pedagogy, making it very clear that first, this cannot be done overnight. This needs time. This takes time. Character formation is not a one-shot thing. Magbibigay ka ng talk and you expect the students already to be men and women of character. Gagawa ka ng poster and then the students will already become men and women of character. Meron kang tarpaulin saying we value character and that's it. No, it doesn't work that way. It takes time. And so the framework is, in fact, 3 to 5 years, something like this. Now, if your leaders, if your officers are really bent on making your school a school of character, 5 years is too long, and they can make the impossible happen. That in 1 year, they can put in place all the necessary ingredients to make the school really a school of character. But in general way, in usual circumstance, 3 to 5 years is a very good time framework. On year one, groundwork and buy-in. We've got to get everybody to buy in and say, oo nga, it's about time. It's about time that we highlight more character, more than just academic excellence, which is making some students resort to cheating, which is making competition between the valedictorian student and the salutatorian so vicious. It's creating a kind of culture na dog eat dog, neck and neck competition. Now, let me highlight this. Research studies have shown concentrate on academic excellence, character formation may not necessarily happen. But concentrate on character formation, academic excellence will necessarily follow because character formation will bring about hard work, integrity, considerateness. Those virtues are what will propel the students to achieve academic excellence. Pero just focus on academic excellence and grades and honors. That will not necessarily bring about better character. As I said, I've seen schools where students are so obsessed with grades to the point that if some of them fail or do poorly, they get depressed. They think about cheating. They think about suicide. I mean, it's absurd. So we need to get a buy-in. The parents have to want it. The teachers have to want it. And then we will have to make the students believe that this is what matters to the school. So part of that is having a common vision, reviewing the school's mission vision, and then rolling it out again. Or maybe the leaders will just need to talk more and more about what the school stands for. Yeah, that's the other thing I notice. Most of the schools have mission vision, and it's been there since day one. Ang problema is maybe the leaders, the officers, the teachers do not refer to it often enough. Kaya meron akong nabisitang eskwelahan. I would ask them, ay, ano nga pala yung school's mission vision? Tapos sasabihin ng teacher sa akin, ay sir, um, nandito yan meron kaming tarpaulin dyan. Ay, nilipat na pala, nandun na pala sa kabila. But they cannot articulate it. They cannot say it. They cannot even put it in their own words. What do we stand for as a school? Now, we revisit it and we look at it. If there is nothing there about character, about faith, about virtues, it's worthwhile getting the leaders, the board of trustees, the people in charge to get down to work and coming up with a crafting a new mission vision that will really encapsulate the goal of education, which is not just about getting good grades. And then get all the staff, teachers, non-academic staff to buy in, to get themselves aligned with it. As I said, most schools, they already have it in place. So maybe the only thing that needs to be done is an assembly where you revisit the school's mission vision. Year 2, integration in the curriculum, getting the teachers to agree to incorporate virtues, values into their lesson plans and even their activities. Why are we doing pautakan? Yan, yung quiz competitions, di ba? I've seen it in schools. They have quiz bees. Bakit? I mean, why? Just to have fun? Or because it will build community? Or because that friendly competition between colleges or sections will foster a love for learning? I don't know. But it has got to be rooted in virtues, values, especially related to the core values of the school. And then you realize, marami tayong activities sa eskwelahan na ginagawa natin pero wala namang kinalaman sa what the school stands for. And you can actually do away with them, and life continues on better because then you will have more time for the really essential things. So, metrics for that is if 80% of the teacher by year two are implementing it, agreeing to incorporate into their curriculum, into what they do, into the activities of the school. Year three, ito na ngayon, papasok na natin yung parental involvement, real homeschool collaboration. I have to emphasize this. Homeschool collaboration does not consist in being able to get donations from the parents, does not consist in getting the parents to buy tickets for the raffle. And that if the parents do not buy tickets, ay hindi sila nagko-collaborate. No, that's not the essence of homeschool collaboration. Homeschool collaboration is rooted in the parents pushing the cart along the same direction as what the school is trying to do. If in the school we are emphasizing, for example, kindness as the virtue of the month, we also tell the parents, please also push kindness at home. Now we are pushing hard work. And then we tell the parents, parents sa bahay you have to collaborate with us sa bahay. You also have to remind your kids about hard work. That's the kind of collaboration that the parents will do their part in helping the student achieve the goals set by the school because they are our partners, that they will not go against what we are trying to achieve. Kasi pag uwi ng mga bata sa bahay, you have no more control there. Hindi mo naman pwedeng sundan ang mga bata hanggang sa bahay to monitor. Are they studying? Are they doing the assignment? It's the parents. It's the parents who can do that. That is where we need their collaboration. That is where we need parent involvement. Ma'am, please, exam time na namin next week. Make sure your son, your daughter will not be playing computer games until he or she is done studying. We need you to help us. We need you to collaborate with us. That's parent involvement. Year four, going deeper into culture, looking at our school activities and pruning out, removing. Minsan kasi meron tayong attachment to some activities. For example, prom, JS prom. Bakit kayo nagja-JS prom? Pero sabi nyo sa mission vision nyo, um, Jesus-centered, ideal Christians. Ayan. Ah, meron pa kayo dyan yung love for society, especially the needy. Oh, love for society and the needy, pero naniningil kayo ng 7,000 pesos para sa JS prom. Hindi pa kasama yung bestida, yung flowers, yung rerentang sasakyan for the JS prom. But many schools cannot let go of JS prom. Bakit? Because all schools are doing it. Because everyone has it. Even if it has absolutely nothing to do with the school's core mission vision. Now, I just gave that as an example. I'm not saying here, do away with a JS prom. If the school is able to justify through this JS junior senior prom, to do this graduation ball, to do this soiree, we are able to achieve our core values, go ahead. Very good. Pero ang sinasabi natin dito is year 4, we start looking into ano ang kultura natin, ano ang mga activities na ginagawa natin, ano ang mga rituals natin, language, symbols, are they all geared towards achieving our goal of forming character? shaping the virtues and values of the students. That's why nakalagay dyan, metrics, visible, culture, shift. Aba, nagkaroon ng shift. There's more prominence given to sacraments. Kasi Catholic school ka. Tapos sabi mo sa vision mission mo, Jesus-centered. Ay, Jesus-centered pero wala naman kayong chapel. Ay, Jesus-centered daw pero hindi naman nagdadasal yung mga teachers. Walang recollection, walang retreat. They don't pray before at the start of the class. So, ito yung mga titingnan na natin yung the ways of doing things and are they aligned with what we stand for as a school? Culture, deepening culture. And then finally, how to make it sustainable and scaled. We're ready now to empower the students to be the ones um, safeguarding the culture and even coming up with activities, initiatives that will help us achieve our values, core values as a school. And then we're going to even replicate it in our other campuses. That's part of the metrics. By year 5, you will even affect the community, the network, other schools. Pinagpaplanuhan to. Hindi ito overnight. You see, that's what we were saying earlier. The developmental pedagogy. We will have to take into account the different stages, ages of the students, and how some of these virtues will take time, not overnight, not immediately. Vision without a plan is just a wish. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, the writer of The Little Prince. Okay, this is the reason why I said, ay, assignment. If you're bent on really seeing to it that your school will have the long vision, then you will need to do a sort of workshop among your teachers, among your officers, taking into consideration all these things. What is our mission statement? What will be our priority areas to make this happen? 12 months, the first year of implementation. What can we do? What will be our target? And then what will be our objective by the time we reach the third year? Where should our school be? And for us to be able to do that, what are our needed supports? Do we need an expert to help us in visioning, yung crafting the mission vision? There are experts who do that precisely, yung who will help the team craft. By the way, it doesn't have to be the whole school involved right away. There can be a small team that can craft a draft and then share it with the rest of the community for their inputs, suggestions, recommendations. And then when it is finally crafted, to get it out to everyone, parents, teachers, and even students, and even alumni, non-academic staff, to get them to buy in, announcing to them that this has been approved by the committee with inputs from the others, and we will roll this out in a unveiling ceremony, announcing that this is now what will guide us in what we do here in the school, our mission, vision, and core values. So then, this is the point of that exercise. You, my dear teachers, fellow teachers, are not just lesson planners. You and I are architects of souls, of future fathers and mothers, of future leaders and saints. A little video for all of you. Let me see. I have to make sure I get to share the sound. Okay.
I remember when I decided to be a teacher, thinking it'd be easy, because I just spent the last 15 years in school surrounded by these people trying to teach me. Most of my life has been in school. This job will be breezy. I'd make jokes with kids, share lots of stories, transform lives, make them fall in love with books, perfect my teacher looks, and ensure every kid thrives. It's school. I mean, I'm kind of a fool, but how hard can it be? I think a lot of people believed this job would be easy. But then in my first year, that kid who I poured my heart into dropped out. And it became clear that my jokes didn't carry enough clout. And I had that one class that was so loud that I had to shout. I told myself I would never be that teacher. That's not what I'm about. But then after that moment, I felt my first self-doubt. I remember when that parent burst into my room demanding that I boost her child's grade. And she called me a liar when I told her how he behaved. And that school grade came back that said our work was deficient, and pressure from the district would be applied until all of our students scored proficient. How do you teach a kid when their belly is empty, or teach work ethic to students who come from plenty? I thought I'd instantly be a master at leading students who are willing and able, but they stare at their phones under the table. I remember my first class had over 30 kids in the room, and that number doubled for teachers when school was moved to Zoom. Yet the expectation is excellence for those standardized tests that loom. And here I was thinking I'd be a gardener trying to help some flowers bloom. Teaching isn't easy. But when that other student who was fighting bleak odds walked across the graduation stage to a deafening applause, I couldn't help but tear up as I sat here in awe and realized there really is something special about this job. Standardized tests and school grades can still cause me misery, but few things compare to when our students are achieving victory, like watching them read for the first time, or discovering that that math problem is a hill that they can climb, or finding the bravery to speak up in class and deliver a line, or getting a letter from them years later telling you that you helped them shift their paradigm. When a kid falls in love with reading, or students have deep discussions without your pleading, or you can make them see that when it comes to succeeding, there is no ceiling. You're reminded that this career is one worth leading. There's parts of the education system that can cause so much strife, yet there's parts of being an educator that can give you.
And that is what makes our work worthwhile. It's what will make our efforts, all our efforts to institutionalize character formation and make sure that our students do not just grow up to be good in math, good in science, good in English, but really men and women of character able to survive the test of life. Okay, that ends our session.